Namaskar. Hello. Today I wanted to talk to you about thinking, the process of thinking, how we think, and what's the difference between just thinking daily and creative thinking, divine thinking, spiritual thinking. So I will start um, with sort of going into how many of us think and ask question, why I'm here, what's the purpose of my life, what I'm doing here, and why it is so difficult for me to survive my life. Many of us think about that, and a lot will not get the answer unless they go up to get the answers from the higher levels of cosmos, because not a lot of people here know the answer to it, and especially lately when we all tend to think that we only live once. So this is where we get disconnected from the truth. If I to think that this is it, I have about 80 or 90 years on this planet, and after that I die, my brain died, and everything that I was thinking or doing is going to vanish, and that's it. This is really sort of a limited view on what's going on with me. And definitely, if I think that, I will not be happy, because like the first period of your life, you're developing physically, and then you are trying to find your sort of place and role in a society, and then you work, and then before you know, it's time to retire, and you look back and you realize that you never been fully really achieving much what you thought you will at the beginning of your life. You still didn't get the answer. Okay, what was the purpose of all of my actions here if I gonna die and everything just gone? This is, to my perspective, is wrong view on the on a on our evolution, and it comes. We came to think this because we were disconnected from the 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 cosmic sort of world. We think that our planet isolated in a cosmos, and that's it. We have no connection to anything else. We have a hard time to go up and explore. NASA's trying to do that, but it's very time consuming, it's dangerous, not as productive as we all thought it would be. So the only way to connect with upper cosmos, with upper echelons, the divine and spiritual world, is to either meditate or pray or practice sort of spiritual way of living, because physically you cannot go into thin worlds, divine worlds. The physical body needs to stay here. How do we do this? How do we connect to divine and get the answers to our questions? So we need to look into way of, okay, what are those worlds and what are my actions and how I can get there. So my understanding, there are 3 levels that we can actually feel and agree that, yeah, maybe. So one is, we know it's our physical level, it's our planet, it's a thick material world, and we are in a thick material body addressing our material needs. So this is the one level. The second level is our feelings. We all have feelings, and not only on this planet, but there's the whole layer of a cosmic sort of world of feelings. And then the highest, it would be the divine process of creation, and it's only done by the big mind, by the mind of those teachers, if you wish, or gods, if someone wants to call them gods. So with their thinking, they creating the whole entire universe, and it's become thicker and thicker and thicker and becomes a reality. We do the same here on the planet. So with our thoughts, that we know, in order to produce something, we first need to imagine, and we need to start process of thinking and gathering the details in our mind first, if we want to see it in reality, and then it become real in reality. So I think we would agree that this is how our thinking creates our reality. So if we agree in the process of thinking, then we need to look into what we are thinking, and what type of thinking we are practicing, and what our reality as a result of our thinking. Because we can again, it's also like the thinking it's attached to those level as well, right? So our thinking, which is the lower sort of layer of thoughts, is to address our needs here on the planet. Food, a shelter, a coat, and our safety. So this is the thinking that sort of control our environment here, and then we also have that layer of thinking that is address our feelings. So if we are in a relationship, then we think about that person, and we think about how our relation going to develop. Is this as good or not, if it's worth it or not. So how do I feel about that person, how does that person feels about me, and we actually create a vision of the person we are in love, and we know that this is the image, this is what we think about that person. We think that person is lovely, cheerful, smart, or whatever quality that person has, but we need to think those feelings first. We need to feel them, and then it becomes our reality, and then we analyzing if this image that I created actually is the real image of that person or not. So all those type of thinking is to address our feelings. And then the third one is to address our spiritual growth. And we know there are a good number of people who are spiritually developed, or they are in some type of religion, but they are still try to connect with the divine. They are still trying to connect with upper cosmos, thing cosmos, and that's totally different thinking, because we are trying to understand what's going on there, what God and how everything works, and what my role in it, and how it's affecting my stay here on the planet. So this is quite interesting. If you start to analyze what's going on in your head and how it reflects on your reality, you will see that the quality of your thoughts will reflect on your reality around you. So how do we change our thought process to have a better understanding of our role here on the planet, how we are make it easier here to survive. Because if you think that we only live once, then you put yourself in a really sort of limited box, if you wish. So, okay, here I am, I have about 90 years or 80 years of life here on the planet. I do things and then I die and nothing happens. This is kind of scary, even, because that can put sort of a hopeless perspective, which can lead to sort of, okay, I'm gonna give up, because what's the use? I'm doing all this, but then when I'm gone, it's all gone, nothing left, no continuation. This is really hard, like, to even accept that. And I would not do this to myself, to sort of place that false belief that after my body die, that's it, I'm done. No. And I want you to research and analyze that maybe, just maybe, the whole entire cosmos and universe, which is endless, and we are part of it, and just because our body die doesn't mean that our soul die, our spirit will never die. That's what I think. And my goal is to find my role in the whole entire sort of process of creation. So for me, it was easier to look at the whole process of evolution as a movie. So when we have a film, like, one particular sort of scene or a slide of that movie is my life right now. But it's changing so fast, and I will come back in a new body, and I will have my different goals. I will have to learn and do different lessons, and I have to sort of develop and polish my diamond, my soul, in order to progress to the higher levels. So this is how I looked at. And just because in that particular slide I can feel it because I'm in this body and I can only see this reality, it doesn't mean that nothing else exists. And it's very sad perspective, even if you think this way, because we know, we can see stars, we can see the sort of endless universe above us and below us, if you wish. And to think that this is it, right now, this is it, on this planet, no, it doesn't make sense. Not only that our planet never was isolated from the rest of the cosmos. We know the planet influence not only us, but the earth as well. We are all connected, and we're all sort of looking and connecting to each other, even if we don't believe in it now. But this is just a actual fact. Like, look at the moon and tides. Yeah, moon affects Earth, and moon affects us as well, our mood and so on. And it's way more to it than we can even imagine. And not only that, I also wanted to mention you that just because a lot of us somehow got disconnected when we are awake, we think that no, there is no one out there, no one cares about me, no one gives me a hand. It doesn't mean that it's true just because we don't feel it or don't see it. Instead, we should say, oh, thank you, grab my hand, help me. So now, when we are sleeping, what happened, our mental body travels, and while we are sleeping, our body is pretty much useless. We cannot control our body when we are sleeping, only when we are awake. But our mental body use this period of time to get connected. If we are not, we are not doing well. So if you look into someone who doesn't sleep for a number of days, the person will actually be mentally disturbed, will have hallucination, will be in such a distress that it's dangerous to their well-being. And if person wouldn't sleep for a week or a bit more, then one can die, really. I read some documents about how Nazis were torturing people by sleep deprivation, and they recorded all that, and people were going mental without sleep. So why that's happening? It's because your mental body was not able to reconnect, and you got completely lost. You went into darkness and you couldn't function anymore because you lost that connection. We need to be connected. So if we are connecting with the divine while we are awake, we are only doing ourselves a huge favor, because then we get inspired, then we have hope, and then we have understanding, and then we have knowledge that our life in this period that we are here, as we know it, as we remember, is not the only life we are given. And it's not just our role, because this is not even a role, this is like a lesson, and we are here to sort of resolve our karma and try not to make more karma, so we can progress and go through the evolution as a soul. So what do we do in order to be more spiritual, more connected with our spiritual beings, with our creator? Try to do a few steps into develop yourself as a spiritual being. Study, just see what you can find. What if religion is not your thing, and I understand that because it limits you in some aspects. I found that meditation works for me, because in the process of meditation I can feel the connection. So I practice meditation, I practice yoga, I practice sort of positive thinking. And back to the positive thinking, I think when we change the way we think and sort of minimize or eliminate negative thinking, we stop creating that negativity around us. So even to your enemies, you need to wish well, kind of, because if you look at them like, oh, they're just suffering, that's why they're mean, or that's why they're bullying others, or whatever is going on, just look at this as, okay, this person is struggling, that's why they're doing what they're doing. I'm going to wish them well, I'm going to wish them fast recovery, I'm going to wish them to find their way to divine, because divine can heal. If we are not doing that, then we are not in control of our thoughts or our reality. If we are thinking negatively about something or someone, then you can check for yourself, like if you put yourself into reliving or addressing a situation when you're angry, then you have that internal sort of a blow of energy. You just explode with your anger, and you just destroyed with that huge wave, the hit, you destroyed yourself and you destroyed someone who's nearby or you have a conflict with, and then you feel super tired because you're done, you're emptied yourself, you change your energy that you had into really negative sort of um, weapon, and you use it, and you have nothing left, emptiness. So you're so tired you need to go lie down or you need to cry. But this could be avoided by sort of putting the understanding of what's going on with that conflict, and maybe instead of just reacting, I need to stop, step away, and think, okay, how I can help this, or how I can change this to something else. Because like, if you remember one thing, like if you meet someone, it doesn't matter who you meet, someone, you greet them with sort of a smile and wish them well, and then you have to end the conversation the same way. So if you do remember this, it will help you while you are communicating with this person not to get to that explosion of emotion. So even if you're not enjoying that or something's not going well, just say, I wish you all the best, and walk away, and you will see that you didn't waste that energy and you didn't create that, a huge fire, a huge explosion. So that's the positive thinking. Another aspect would be thinking with your heart. Don't just always use your brain. Don't just always employ your logic. It's good, but if you add your heart to it, your emotion will change, because you will have a better understanding of what you're dealing with, either a person or a situation. Just think with your heart, because this is your intuition, this is your soul talking through and helping you not to develop that conflict, not to lose the energy, and not to lower your vibration. Because remember, we all vibrate, and the lower vibration is, the worse it gets. Because low vibration create fear, create negativity, and create very poor perspective. So we need to, in order to connect with divine, with the higher levels of cosmos, we need to vibrate on a higher frequencies. And this means positive thinking, wishing well, asking for help from divine, and be connected, right? Focus on your good qualities, because we all have them. Sometimes we are not always using them, but most of us are. And so if you try to practice being a good Samaritan, helping others, understanding others, so those good qualities will make you feel better about yourself and make you feel better about the surroundings, because people react. If you stop and help stranger, or even someone you didn't like before, you just try to reconnect and see if you can actually rebuild relations, working or family or otherwise. It will help you to have better environment, because when you're disconnected or have a conflict, then you have that sort of whirl of negativity that sucks the energy out of you and focus you on something negative that you don't want to have in your life. So change your view on that, and that will change for better. Try to expand your mind. Don't just desperately grab to this reality, because this reality is just a temporary house, temporary home for you, but it's not the only reality that you will learn. Try to understand that it's bigger picture than just this slide of your huge film. So, and again, try to meditate, or if you want to have a prayer. I repeat mantras. I do meditate twice a day, and this helps me. It's almost like you're going into that place or space that has written that knowledge and you have access to it. It's hard to explain, but again, this is something that you don't need to believe me, but you can go there yourself and feel it, because I cannot show you, I cannot prove you the existence, but I can tell you that in my experience, when I meditate, I feel it. I know it's there, and I want you to feel it too, because this is the only way. With our eyes, we can't see that reality. We can only go there with our thin bodies, and we can only feel it. So go there and feel it for yourself, and you may be pleasantly surprised, and you will see and understand that we are never alone. We have big family who cares about us, and the life becomes easier, and it becomes easier with understanding that, okay, if something happened to me, probably it's my karma. So instead of reacting to that event as I will show you, just say, oh yeah, maybe I did something to this person in my previous life, so yeah, please forgive me. Let's just end this right there. I don't want to put another seed of karma that will come and hunt me down in my future life. Create with your thoughts. This is the most important thing that one can do. Create better life, not just for yourself, for others. And what I mean, like we are trying to organize our life here, and each family, each person trying to sort of like protect that space. This is my home, this is my area. I'm gonna make sure that this is okay, but the rest I don't care. We are so connected. It's just clear to me that if people around us not okay, we cannot be okay here. So try to change your thinking into, I am a citizen of the whole entire cosmos, not just citizen of this country or citizen of this planet. So when you start thinking about that, you will get the understanding that I do care what's going on in that other country, and I wish they would not have that war right now, because if they have a war, it will come here as well, in a sense of maybe someone will get killed that I know and it's going to affect me, or maybe that all negativity will come here with the news and with our reaction, and I don't want that. I don't want them to be miserable as much as I don't want me to be miserable here. So, and same with the planet. Now we understand that we are responsible for our home, for our planet. We need to make sure that it's healthy, because we have nowhere to go in our physical bodies. This is a hotel, if you wish. When we come here to this planet, this is our temporary home. We will have to go back to the higher levels, but we do care about our home, about our country, about our planet, and we do have to care about the cosmos, because we are so involved when we are not in our physical body with what's going on up there. And it's really busy place. It has its structure, and every soul has its role in the evolution of the cosmos. So with understanding this, with changing our thinking to just from survival mode when we go to work as a slaves, to to the process of, I'm going to work to be creative, I'm going to work as a hero, I'm going to help everyone I see today. Then people start reacting, and then if you tell them why you're doing that, then maybe they will be doing the same. And this, I think, the only way that we can slowly, without any catastrophic events, to move from Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga and be in a paradise, as here, as in the space, in the cosmos. So be that citizen of the universe instead of being a citizen of your country, and see the difference. One who understands the world of light will never be fear of darkness. So create light around you, create light on a planet, and bring that light to your real home, to the whole entire universe. Be well. I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, please write them down so I can have another discussion with you. And I will come back to discussing thoughts on positive thinking and creative thinking and its influence on our reality. I'll do it more and more again in the future. Until then, namaskar. Have a good day.